I got some next believable thoughts for you guys to practice. My go-to, this is hard and I can do hard things. Anytime you find yourself thinking, this sucks, I can't do this, I'm not cut out for this, if you can feel yourself going into fear or anxiety over a circumstance, you can always remind yourself, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. And I can do hard things. It is such an empowering thought when you begin to practice that. Number 2, mistakes are normal. That's how we learn. Now, my favorite story about mistakes are normal, that's how we learn, is I have a mantra that I say every morning when I drive my kids to school, and that's one of them. So my kids have been practicing that daily. And I remember one day, probably about a year or two ago, when something happened at home that I made a mistake. The crazy thing is I don't even remember what the mistake was. I may have broken something. Maybe I misplaced something valuable. I literally can't remember the mistake. But what I remember about that moment is that my youngest son looked to me and he said, "Mom, mistakes are normal. That's how we learn." So without realizing it, I had been training my kids to echo back these positive mindset thoughts to me in hard times. I never lose. I win or I learn. When you can learn to reframe failure as an opportunity to learn something, the world will be your oyster. This is who I want to be. And you can add caveats to this one. I'm going to get through this hard part because this is the mom I want to be. This is the wife I want to be. This is the sister, daughter, employer, employee I want to be. This is the child of God I want to be. This thought reminds you of what your values are that you hold. It puts you back in the driver's seat to make you realize that your life is not happening to you. It's happening for you. And maybe right now, breastfeeding your kid is the hardest thing that you have ever done, and it is painful and you hate it, and there's nothing else that you would rather do because that's the mom that you want to be. You're going to struggle through it and figure it out. You're going to seek out help where you need it, and it's because that's who you want to be. The next thought is, I can always redecide. This thought has helped me get out of the indecision loop. I used to spend days, if not weeks, ruminating over things before I would make a decision. If it was time to buy a new vacuum for my house, I would literally spend an entire week looking up probably every single model of vacuum that existed on the internet. And I'm not saying that there isn't a place for the practical or for doing thorough research, because I love some research. But we can oftentimes get stuck in this place of, have I looked at all the options? Do I need to get someone else's opinion? The truth is, your opinion is the one that matters because you're the one who makes the decision. And the decision gets made in a split second. You can spend days, weeks, months ruminating about the decision, but when the decision is made, it's made in a moment. So knowing that I can just make a decision, and if it doesn't turn out the way that I want it to, I can redecide. It's helped me become a better decision maker, to make decisions faster, and also to just trust myself throughout that process. That it's okay to sometimes make a bad decision because that is also part of the process, and I get to redecide. The only way we get better at making decisions is by practicing making decisions. I hope you guys found these helpful, and I'm going to get back to my serene vacation on the Potomac.